It's MaximusAnalysis here for May 10th, 2016, and we had a very strong run today, breaking above the 2070-75 level that I posted this morning. We also had 2059.50, I believe, was the level that they bounced off of and then just never looked back. So we are now approaching the magic 2080 level. So we have 2080 and 2082. And the reason why I'm saying magic level, because if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, that was all of 2015 was 2080. So it just was a level that was end up being middle of the chop, and we're right back in it. Again, we have to keep an open mind here in regards to looking at the weekly for the ES and saying, okay, let's see where they close. And if they close above last week's high, which I think is 2077 and a half, it can continue for more highs and eventually go to the 2060. If they don't close below above that level, if they just tap it and don't show any type of volume, we will continue to watch. Now, the reason why I want to say, to be cautious, both sides, because again, we've been sideways for a couple of weeks, as you obviously can tell. And also, when you look at the daily time frame, we had a similar situation that went back to this area where everything looked really good at this, and then they pulled the rug the next day. Not saying that's going to happen, but I want to make sure that as a viewer, you are prepared for both sides of the fence. So we will look at a higher time frame to kind of give us perspective. And if you're looking to get in on the daily time frame, I would suggest moving towards an aggressive time frame, which I've been saying before since the rips off the bottom. So with that being said, we'll look at the NQ on the daily time frame, and again, they recaptured this 43.89.5 level. Okay, if they continue, we will be looking at the 44.58 level, and of course that pretty much coincides with this resistance right here. So we don't want to say, okay, they're going to blast through it, but we want to really check the volume here, because if they make another lower low, which this is a 200-day moving average, by the way, if they make another lower low here and a break, they clear this, and then they're going to the races. Both sides. So let's look at the weekly for the NQ, and you could kind of see what I'm talking about, that they need to show some type of oops, let me get this back. They need to show some type of oomph to the upside here. So you see the lower high definitely in place, resistance level got respected. Again, if they're going to keep the higher low, that's fine. We just want to make sure we have some type of verification for that. YM, again, they recaptured that 17,450 area that we were talking about, and we'll continue to watch where they go from here. CL, again, as much as they want to say about rips, CL has been in a really crappy range. You could see this is really difficult range to trade on the daily time frame unless you just stayed short, but I just don't know where this is going to go. So I'm going to wait, of course, till EIA report tomorrow, which every week there was an inventory report for crude that can make it swing violently one way or the other. It's annoying, but I'm trying to just make sure we're looking at this higher time frame. And you can see that it's just been dancing down slowly and hugging this 200-day moving average. So a clear above this 46.12 or this 40, I think it was 46.59. And we'll see where we continue to go. But again, you can also see, if you look on the weekly time frame, that there is still some indecision, and I'm willing to just wait. I'm willing to wait until we see where it breaks up or down, because again, you can see off the daily time frame that that crap can really get things moving quickly. All right, so with that being said, let's look at a couple of equity names, and you can see the big name for this day is definitely Amazon, clearing 700 at the close, getting pop up, a gap up, which I don't know what it was. Maybe there was some news or something like that, and continuing to continuing up. So again, we'll wait for a weekly close just to make sure there's nothing weak going on here. If you're looking to go long, understand that you have to use a smaller time frame for this, because most people are not going to go long here and put their stop where they need it to be, which again would be under the 650. So if you're not going to put your stop where it should be, you have to look at a lower time frame for this. And if you miss the trade, you just missed the trade. It's fine with that. So the next one we're going to look at is Google. Oh, let's look at Amazon on the weekly, by the way, and we can see that this rip up is really, really far. So let's see something. I want to see if we have any type of correlation with this and this. All right, looks like it might get even up to 720, 723. We'll watch. That would be the target for me. So again, looking at the daily, let's look at Google. And Google's up 10 bucks, but it's still bucking up against resistance, gap down, and now you can see the volume is starting to dead. So you really don't want to see this break back below this 723 level. Okay, watching also above the 743 and 08, and we'll look at the weekly, because again, if you want to make sure you're looking at the higher time frame, you can see they had that huge gap down from earnings. So this was the earnings gap down, and now they're just coming up, and we want to see what this volume looks like. It's a really hard pattern to trade because it's so sideways, but want to see what the volume looks like for this one going into, you know, this week, and if they break below a previous week's low. Another name we looked at is Solar City, and they missed earnings, and they're just continuing the downtrend, quite honestly, and gave a lot of volume at this critical 16.54 level that they flushed down to, and that's just pretty much near the lows here. So again, I would just be probably just taking profit at this point, even no matter on what time frame I would be trading, just because you don't want to be a pig, because again, you have Tesla down almost 60 bucks as well, 50-60 bucks, and you know, you just again take profits and you'll be able to move on and get another trade. Another name that I'm looking at is actually Plug. Again, this was a name that I looked at from a while ago. And what we want to look now for Plug, we want to see if they're going to hold this 150 area. So you see that they gave a nice hammer formation at the end of this candle, end of this retracement. You have some type of higher lows in place, but you need to recapture some stuff. Let me show you what I would say you would need to recapture. You need to recapture this, getting back above here, but you are getting a higher low from here, and again, you want them to break above this high. You have a hammer formation that's actually coming on high volume. So if we look at the intraday time frame, this is the 15-minute. You can see that they gapped down, came back up, and then the bulls were able to close at the higher percentage of this day's range. Looking at the weekly time frame for Plug, you can see that it needs to do something and do something quickly. Again, you're currently, really want to hold this area, which again coincides with the 150 area, and you definitely want to go anywhere close to the $1.30 area. Again, it's not typically the name I would look at, but again, it's hard to get the volume too because it's so low to read, but we'll continue to watch that one. So again, for you guys that are holding Plug and you're holding here, we'll see if they get a break above this $2 range tomorrow. All right, take care.